Good morning, Concordia. Happy Easter, happy holy days, whatever you celebrate. I hope you enjoy celebrating with us this morning. Welcome to everyone here and online. Please join us in song if you are so called.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me, I see love in every breath I breathe, I see God in everything, I see happiness, I see freedom, I see the beauty that lives in me, I see perfection in what life brings, I see God in everything. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I see freedom. I feel the beauty that
Welcome to Concordia Center for Spiritual Living. This is our center, and we are just thrilled to be here. I am. And we're happy that you're here in this room, in Facebook, online, on the replay. I'd like to say especially hello to Arizona out there, and I'll see you tomorrow. So, welcome. Welcome especially to the newest members. Be sure you stop by and talk to the greeter and get your welcome gift. Also, please be aware that the prayer cards right here, write whatever you want. The practitioners will hold it in prayer. If you'd like to put your name as contact information, we can do that too. And then you go online and you get the newsletter. And you will miss nothing because we are a vibrant, active, loving community. There's always something going on here, which is super cool. So Concordia, where many hearts come together as one. We are New Thought. We are under the New Thought umbrella. We teach spiritual tools and practices that will help you realize who you are and what you are. And you will realize how powerful you truly, truly are. And how you can harness the cosmic energy that is life itself. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact because of this center, this community, and these practices. You guys know what I'm doing tomorrow. And I would have never had the courage or the chutzpah, that's a practitioner term, to do it without what we teach in this room. So thank you. Our mission is to provide global tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And our vision is a world that works for everyone. So let's just take a breath. Standing in trust and in faith and recognition and allowing the energy of life to flow through this service, through each one, through our speakers, through our music, through our AV, through all those on digital, downstairs in hospitality. I know it is done, and I know it is so. So I say amen, blessed be, and together we confirm. So it is. And after service, be sure to join us downstairs for munching and mingling, and drop your welcome, your connection card in the tithing basket.
morning, everyone. Happy Easter. Welcome. My name is Carla Joyce. I'm the licensed practitioner on duty today, and it is my privilege to be here in service to all of you on this special day. So I offer our meditation and our affirmative prayer. So we can start with a quiet moment, just going within, allowing your breath to lead you to your heart center. It is from this place of stillness that I recognize and I connect to my source, the one presence, the one power, first cause, creator, God. There are many names, but there is only one. And I know each one comes from this one. The purpose of this treatment is for me to know there is no separation. No separation from myself and my source, or from each one here in this room, from myself and each one I encounter in life. I know this one creator has created out of its love, out of its joy, its peace, its harmony, and its infinite wisdom, has come many. This day of celebration, it's a celebration of the greatest teacher that ever lived. I speak of Jesus, whose each loving, kind word was an affirmative prayer. It was the truth of life itself. This word was spoken with deep faith, unwavering conviction in spirit, in the source of all that is good and true. To see this example deepens my own faith in the spirit that resides within me and within each one. For I know as I align with the truth, I align with the peace, the joy, and the love. Life is miraculous. It is abundant, harmonious. Relationships are nurturing. Work is play, and play is fun-filled. I know this joy overspills out of my life into those I encounter, and it is felt by each and all. I realize as I turn to this one who is constant in life. The omnipresence is everywhere, in every moment of every day. I feel the connection to my source. I know this is who I am. And I know this truth for each one here, online and beyond the sound of my voice, for all have come from this one undivided whole, complete and perfect Creator. I am so grateful for this truth. I am so grateful to claim and declare this for each and all, not just myself. With a full heart and a deep faith and conviction in knowing that this law of life makes my word so, it cannot come back void. For it acts upon my word, the thought, and the feeling behind it. And so I know there can be no other way. I say thank you, blessed be, and together we anchor this truth by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Carla. What a beautiful prayer. And so, who in this room has not been touched by Barbara Fuyat? Who in this room has had a spectacular demonstration with Barbara Fuyat of divine love and of power and presence and the all that is? I see a lot of hands. It is my privilege to introduce Barbara. So for over 30 years, Barbara was executive director of organizations serving survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. She was involved locally, statewide, and nationally as creating changes through laws and protocols. The list really goes on. She is a magnificent demonstration of our philosophy, the science of mind. She lives it daily. She holds the light daily in just presence and being. She's an amazing example. And she is the reason I took practitioner class. When I stood there and I said, I don't know, do I want to do that? And her one simple sentence of, you are a seer and a seeker. Do you want that to stop? No. And here I am. So Barbara is also the spiritual director, and thank you. Barbara is also the spiritual director of CSL South Coast in Massachusetts, the teaching chapter, holding the vision of oneness and creating a world that works for everyone. And she's also right now co-teaching with Mary and myself for the next set of practitioners coming up. So please help me welcome Miss Barbara Fuyat.
Thank you, Lisa. And for those who I haven't hugged, get ready. It is wonderful to be here this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those who are here physically and to those who are joining us right over there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our oneness and our Easter service this morning. Happy, happy Easter. Happy new beginnings. Happy revival. Happy rebirthing. Happy for all and in every way people celebrate the spring, this time of year, the meaning to them of the resurrection. And of course that also includes the crucifixion, which we will talk a little about. For we are a New Thought community. And we may have slightly different words, we may have a slightly different interpretation of it, but as you look at all of the religions that we are blessed to have around us, there is that golden thread that goes through all of them. And that would be the vibration of love, peace, joy, how we look at that, how we practice that, how we get to that point of in-loveness with the Most High. Maybe different paths, the same sauce, the same goal, the same unfoldment, the same oneness. And as we recognize that and bring that message of oneness to the depth of our soul, we are creating it in this world, in this moment, right here and right now. We are never powerless. And although in our crucifixion time we may fear it, we may think we're powerless over something, anything, and the truth is, that's the illusion. And what Jesus taught us so beautifully is that the oneness and the power of choice, the power to bring forth and create and be the presence of love, that is the truth with a capital T. And that is the reality of who we are. So I just wanted to start and read the lovely saying, thank you, Mary, thank you, Elaine, thank you, everybody, for, of course, at midnight, getting it into the newsletter. However, I just want to read it because I love this definition of it. Easter as a symbol of spiritual awakening and transformation. Spiritual awakening and transformation. That says it. Because we get to the transformation through our awakening of the worthiness and the perfection of who we really are, the truth of us. In New Thought, Easter represents the resurrection of the true self, the emergence of one's higher consciousness, and the triumph of life over perceived limitations. So you can see where it is a personal journey, and you can see where in gratitude as we stand to, as Carla so beautifully said, one of the greatest teachers, and according to Ernest Holmes, the highest consciousness to ever walk the earth up until this moment perhaps, and who knows who is out there. And that is us collectively coming forward and continually evolving. So I wanted to start with a story that Reverend Mark Anthony Lord tells about, we start this Holy Week with Palm Sunday and in Christianity. And that's when Jesus was riding in on the donkey and handing out palm, which is an incredible symbol of strength. And everybody is yelling and cheering, and it was a wonderful, wonderful day, greeting him. And then, as we all know, what a difference a day makes. Because within a few days, there was Thursday, which is the Last Supper, and where he called together his disciples and his intimate few that, according to different beliefs, there may have been different people at that table. Doesn't matter. It just matters the feeling of him being surrounded and sharing this meal and this being in communion with these people who shared the belief and the message that he was bringing forth and that he wanted to teach people, which was always our power to do what he was doing and more. And that message is repeated throughout his path. You will do this and more. And so doing that then becomes our individual work. To be ready, to feel worthy, to allow ourselves to step into that, to go into the crucifixion of shedding what it is we're getting rid of, feeling the pain, grieving the grief, whatever it is that we're going through, to move through into the resurrection. So he focuses on Good Friday and Jesus' path during that time. So he had been tried and convicted and beaten, and the scourging at the pillow, the crowning of thorns. He was in terrible physical condition as he was carrying the cross for the crucifixion. And Reverend Mark talks about what that was like for him, if we could imagine that, walking the street with perhaps some of the same people who a few days before had been honoring him, and they had been giving out the palms, they had been cheering that he was joining them. And now there were sneers and there were punches and he was being spat at and all kinds of experiences. And so what did Jesus do? How did he respond to that? He didn't. He didn't make a fist. He didn't fight back. He didn't take up a sword. He stood in his reality. He stood in knowing, in absolutely knowing that he is one with the divine, as he said to Pontius Pilate, and that folks were coming out of fear. Folks were coming out of that place of separation. Folks were feeling powerless over what was happening. So he never, ever went off course from what he truly believed and who he knew he was. Who he knew he was, which is as his birthright of the divine high. And so even during the crucifixion, his words, some of his last words were, "Forgive them, Father, for they know what they know not what they do." And that is one of our strongest and first things that we need to do always in moving away from our perceived unworthiness or mistakes, missing the mark in something, or not being good enough, not being smart enough, not being able to be who we think we should be, is that forgiveness of ourselves for thinking those attack thoughts towards ourselves. It doesn't even have to go outside of us. And if we have those kind of thoughts about someone else, it's the same process that we're going to be going through from the inside out. And so he brings the point home. This is Reverend Mark. He brings the thought home of knowing that that's the untruth, that that's the illusion, that the truth is knowing that we are perfect, whole, and complete. That is the way we are created. We are divine. And although we honor our humanness and understand it and accept it and move on through it, we know the truth of who we are. And we get to decide where we're going to put our energy and what we're going to focus on and what we're going to be the presence of and what we're going to co-create. And so he does a great job, I think, of taking that one part of Good Friday and putting it into terminology that we can use. And so his primary question is, where is the street that you're walking down? What experience in this lifetime, right here and right now, are you going through a crucifixion of any kind? And his answer is, in our mind. That's our street. That's where we're experiencing hateful thoughts. That's where we're experiencing grief. That's where we're experiencing, as I said, self-criticism, self-judgment. It's all within our mind. That's our street. That's what we need to walk through and do as he did, which was to walk through emanating love, emanating peace, not picking up arms against ourselves or anyone else, not being the presence of anything other than love and surrender. And surrender. For surrender is a step in really being able to release anything, to walk through it. So those are some things to just reflect on. What is your street? And within that street, on that street, what are the poison arrows that you're experiencing? What is it that you're going to go into and feel, honor, accept, not put, bring swords up against, but accept it as being part of you, healing and releasing, to move into the tomb, to have that quiet time of healing and renewing, and in this case about today, rebirthing, and then have our own resurrection. And this is the day that we bring that alive within us again. And we do it several times a day. We do it several times again. We can go through that process several times in one day. And what I'm saying is, and in saying what he was saying, recognize it. Recognize it as this cycle, as the crucifixion, the womb, the rest, and the resurrection. for those 3 days. And don't think it's outside of us or not something that we believe in or whatever. This is simply the interpretation as we take something so global and beautiful and also individualize it so that we embody it and that we can live it every day. And so along with our wonderful Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, he's great, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Marianne Williamson and when she brings us the message of New Thought and the Course in Miracles and talks about the resurrection. And their message is very much the same. She speaks of honoring that within our wholeness is divine and humanness. And so if we're in a place where perhaps we're downloading something that may be coming from fear within us, it doesn't mean that the other doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that the other part of us that is ultimate love doesn't exist. It just is, you know me in technology, it's in a folder somewhere, floating out there in a folder somewhere. Still very much a part of us. And then we can recognize what it is. This is a hate thought. This is a painful thing. And there are things that are happening outside of ourselves that we feel great pain about. So what is it and how is it that we can walk through that pain to be back in our divinity, to maintain and stay in the presence of love and being the presence of peace. And so she celebrates in a wonderful way the union of mind and heart. And that's what the Course in Miracles, that's one of the big things the Course in Miracles has brought to her. The union of love and heart. And in celebrating the resurrection, she celebrates that union. She celebrates that moment, whether for her and for all of humanity. And so it is a celebratory day. It is something that, however, in whatever words we use, we need to grasp the meaning for us and celebrate it in this moment, in this day. And not only do that, but claim it. And one of the biggest things that she brings forth as well is understanding our worthiness. And there's something about that word. You know, it is our birthright, and of course we are born worthy of all of the gifts of the world and worthy to experience such joy and such peace. And yet sometimes we have a hard time accepting that for whatever our socialization has been, for whatever messages we have picked up along the way to this point in this moment in time. We want to honor that. We want to, on this day, celebrating new birth, renewal, our birthright to rise up and root deep, which is what our message is for this year. We are rising up and we are rooting deep. And we are showing up and perhaps shouting out always from this place of unity and oneness and love, and that is our work to do. That is our call to action. So how do we deal with this other muck, which is all around us all the time? Things happen to other people we love, things happen to us, things are happening in the country, in the world. We stay as Jesus stayed, never varying from knowing the truth of who he was. Knowing the truth of who he is. So as we celebrate Christ consciousness, as we celebrate the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, and there's an analogy that one of them drew about going into the tomb as Jesus of Nazareth, and then the stone was lifted as that internal work was done and came out, Jesus the Christ consciousness. Whatever we want to build around that, the tenet is there is a resurrection, there is a crucifixion, and we go through the crucifixion to get to the resurrection. Does that make sense? Yeah? Oh, good. And we have a wonderful group if anybody wants to add anything. From a different perspective, a different religion, something to add on to this that they feel would be important to share. Please really feel that. And Mary will tell me when I'm out of time, right? I have no idea. Somebody will. so that he was the highest actualized, meaning Jesus, the highest actualized mind. Certainly that Ernest Holmes and Marianne Williams uses those words. Reverend Mark used slightly different words, but the highest actualized consciousness to have walked among us. And here we are with the strong message from him and many others that this is ours to do. This is an inside job for us to do, to bring our consciousness to that point so we stay on our path, so we know what is truth and what is illusion. And all of those negative things are the illusion, and the truth is who we know ourselves to be. So when he could be on that cross and say, "Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do," he was saying they just haven't evolved enough to get it. Yeah, I'm teaching it, I'm down here teaching it, but they're just not in that place to get it. And that's part of our symbol of being open at the top. We talk a lot about this stuff in class. But that was Ernest Holmes' message. We are open at the top, and we accept all paths to the one source of love and peace and joy and wholeness and perfection. And it is truly our path to walk. We have to walk it, and we have to continue to do our own internal work, to be that presence. And that's what classes do for us. That's what spiritual community does for us. That's for a diversity of what people believe in when we come together in wanting to share that. It's to get to that end place of oneness, recognizing our oneness with the divine, recognizing our connection with each other, creating communities that are loving and peaceful. And then we go outside of ourselves to bring to our entire community things in form, food, housing, peace, whatever it is that is one of our values that we want to bring forward. Jesus was noted as a spiritual activist. He was changing the norm. He was changing the system and the institution that was around Judaism. He was saying, "No, I don't think this is the way to go. We have to add this, this, and this." And he was teaching in the temple, at 12. I hate to say this in front of Reverend Barry, but tell me. But he was bringing a message of expansion, of knowing who we really are, of allowing ourselves to come into a place of power, not following something because it's the way it's always been or it's what they were taught, but to know the truth of each and every one of us about our own uniqueness, our own individuality, our own gifts that we need to say yes to, that we need to go into that place. Like Marianne Williamson will say, we're not afraid of our failures, we're afraid of our power. And when we're afraid of our power and we won't allow spirit to work through us, then we're hiding behind that fear and holding ourselves back and holding the gift of us back because of that fear of not being good enough, pretty enough, tall enough, short enough, whatever it is we're afraid of. That's a form of our crucifixion, to be able to work through that, to get to the freedom, to get to the resurrection. And so that's part of the awakening, is that we need to awaken within this, and that's what we were talking about in the New Thought talks about in that first thing that I read. We need to go into the willingness of awakening. And if we don't know how to do that, then we talk to someone who's in this community who will guide you and help you to know how to do that, to be able to either join a class or see a practitioner or whatever it is. But we are in this together collectively as one, and we are in a time of awakening in the world, everywhere in the world. And so we're going to, as Pam would so eloquently be able to explain to us, but even cosmically, both with the lineup of the planets and all that is rebirthing on the earth right now, we are in this time of significant change and growth and awakening. And so we get to decide which we're going to do. Which we're going to do. Are we going to stay in and stay and hide and not allow the truth of who we are to come forth, not stand in this, and this because of fear? Or are we willing, with support and love of our community, friends, whomever it is, to go deeper into that and to get rid of it? Go to the root of it and listen to what we're saying, that you are perfect, whole, and complete. You are unique. You bring to the world right now some things that no one else can bring. You say in the world right now, you say it in a way that no one else can say it. We are not whole and complete unless we all are able, with each other's love and support, to bring through our highest self, to do that renewal, to do that rebirthing, to be in that place of being so worthy that this is mine and this is mine to do. And equally as important is to answer that question, what is not mine to do? So that we're just focused on what it is our path is. We're focused on what Jesus did when he walked down that street and sent love, peace, never lifting a hand, never saying a bad word, never getting involved in any of that, knowing that what was outside of him was the illusion. And what is inside of him and what he knew to be true of him and many of these other people who were, stuck in fear, well, all of them really, is oneness. It's oneness, and it's freedom, and it's joy. So I celebrate this Easter as such a wonderful holiday of renewal, of new beginnings, of knowing every moment is a new beginning. But this is a day that we focus attention onto it. And I honor Jesus, the Christ consciousness, and all of the messages that he did. I honor that Jesus of Nazareth went through physical pain to go from the crucifixion to the resurrection. And I honor the mystical around that. There's so many mystical messages that are around that. It's a happy day. No matter what is going on, we can choose to be happy. We can choose to be focused. We can choose to be love. We can choose to be peace. I can't make Carla's life perfect or better. She can't make mine, but we can choose to be here together and to bring forth what we want to bring forth on this day. So I thank you for having me today. It's always so wonderful to be here. I am going to close with a quote from our Ernest, which is in today's magazine, and it is, "Easter is the glad remembrance of an ever-ascending spirit within us. It is the resurrection of the body of our fears from the tomb of confusion." So I know that you are clear, that you clearly know the truth of who you are. You clearly know that you are a divine creation of the Most High. You know your perfection. And I know that as you reflect on that and move forward within that, you are freeing yourself of any constrictions, anything that may be holding you back. Anything that you want is yours. And so that concludes my message. I really want you to rejoice in you. Rejoice in you. It doesn't mean that we're all not feeling pain in different ways. It doesn't. We feel it, we acknowledge it, we get to the point where we can release it and we move on. And even in those moments, we can stand in the joy of the resurrection. We can stand in the joy knowing that Christ's light is around, through, and as each and every one of us. And collectively, this room is just beaming the vibration of love and light. So thank you all. Happy Easter. Happy resurrection.
light a candle in your memory, though I don't know who you are. And when I think about your family, I will wish upon the star. And I pray that they'll find peace someday. I'll pray they'll make it through. I'll light a candle in your memory to honor you. I light a candle for America. May we feel peace inside. We'll hold each other closer and wipe the tears they've cried. And I'll pray we'll bond together, and I'll pray that we'll pull through. I'll light a candle for America, for me and for you. And we will light the world with our love. We will light the world with our love, with our love. A light candle for humanity, for the good that's yet to come. As we overlook our differences and join now as one. And I pray we'll come out stronger in this world I'm dreaming of. Light a candle for humanity, to be a world living in love. And we will light the world with our love. We will light the world with our love.
Every day, every way.
We will light the world with our love. We will light the world with our love. I'll light a candle for humanity, for all the good that's yet to come. As we overlook our differences and join now as one. And I pray we'll come out stronger in this world I'm dreaming of. I light a candle for humanity, to be a world that's living in love. I'll light a candle. I'll light a candle. I'll light a candle.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you to our musicians. Thank you to Barbara for the service. Thank you to everybody right here. I'm going to miss you guys a lot. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you for being on this trip with me and in this. And it's my turn to talk about news you can use. I love you all.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter. Thank you, Barbara. That was beautiful. So well laid out about what our organization is all about. Building Christ consciousness, awakening to a divine reality, to our own personal sovereignty, So this class is an opportunity to just do just that. We are being guided by Judge Troward. So he was the master of the law. And this class, the fundamentals of this class is that principle is not bound by precedence. And what he means by that is the creative process is continually operating. And it does not necessarily have to operate in a momentum way. In other words, just because it always has doesn't mean it always has to be. So it's not bound, but it's obliged. The law is obliged to present us with what we feel and what we think. Our divine intervention is our divine authority, our free will, our Christ consciousness. So this class will give you an opportunity to explore what it is that stands in the way of where you are and where you would like to be. So there is, I think there's about 6 or 8 of us already signed up. Brian Fisk and I will be facilitating. This will be happening on Wednesday evenings right here in the center, starting at 6:30, and all are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. And Martha is going to talk about Women's Circle.
Good morning, Concordia. Your friendly neighborhood Women's Circle leader here. And Shannon and I are delighted to be presenting some activities and practices that are inspired by the new moon that is on the 27th. And that's this coming Friday. I can't believe it's already the final Friday. And so we hope that you will bring your friends and join us. We are looking forward to it. And then I think I'm supposed to talk about this one too. We are going to have, after service on the 27th at 11:30, Women's Circle is going to have our monthly meeting in Fellowship Hall so that any women who might be interested in joining the leadership can come and see how a meeting goes and how we do things. And perhaps it will spark your interest further, and we would love to have any women join us who would like to. And I think that's it for me.
Hello again. It's time for conscious giving. And so, what is it that is in your heart to give back to this community on this day in particular? And after the message from Barbara, I couldn't help but think about being a child and brought up mostly Catholic, on the holidays kind of thing. And from a very, very young age, I could just never grasp their teachings, their story, the whole thing. So therefore I just did not ever connect with it or want to hear about it. And so I'm grateful to this community for teaching me about Christ consciousness that is within everyone. So I just am forever grateful, and I just find this community to be priceless in my life. And so what is it that is yours to give? What do you receive from this community? We welcome your time, treasure, or talent, whatever that may be. And if it is a treasure, then we have a slip in front of you. You could put credit card information. It has a QR code. Or you can text it at 466-4454. Just text give, and we gratefully accept all that you are willing to give. And so with that, we can say our affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. Oh, and put your connection cards in the basket as well. musicians, and thank you to our singers, and to everyone in service in AV, and everyone downstairs in fellowship. I look forward to seeing you all down there. If you would like a prayer from myself or anyone in a purple stole, please let us know. And then we are available all through the week at prayer@concordia.csl.org. Send us a message and we'll be happy to hold you in our thoughts. Thank you, Barbara, for such an amazing message on this beautiful day. Thank you. Your beautiful spirit and light is just always so heartwarming and heartfelt and greatly appreciated. And so I know each one goes forth from this service with that Christ consciousness within ignited and carrying it forward, spreading the love, the joy, the peace, the harmony, all that we get here, all that is filled up in our spirits here at our center is carried out forth through the world into our everyday, where we can touch others, see the light within each one, know that we are all one within the whole, undivided. I say, blessed be, and together we say, and so it is.
You all know this one, so please join us.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is a moment now.
Right now!
With every step I take, yes, this